And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day, committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, investing, business brokerages, and so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, and our number one goals are to educate, entertain, enlighten, and most importantly, we want to engage you so that we can help you win.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
In any marketplace, winning in any marketplace. And we want to make sure you engage us with the show. Anything you hear today, we got some great advice here, some intelligent talk radio coming at you. So make sure you save our hotline number in your phone, 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. Don't forget our number. Bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. consumerqb.com. That's our website. A lot of information available for you there so that you can engage with us online. You can submit an email form with any questions that you may have. Just submit the form. It's going to come through to myself and our producer, James. We're going to make sure we get back to you before our head hits the pillow. You can also see 80-plus show partners there, expert contributors, former celebrity guests that we've had on the show, as well as our expert contributors who are here in the Tampa Bay area that all want to come in and help you understand more about your daily decisions, things happening in your daily life, help you live a better life. So check out consumerqb.com. Coming up in the show, we've got our Name That Tune. We're going to have some fun with today's songs, our rock songs from the 90s. And we also have our feel-good story of the week. A New Jersey man pays off $10,000 worth of layaway debt over at a local Toys R Us store. And let's go around the horn now and make our introductions. James Lascano back in studio. He's a business broker with Transworld Business Advisors. Welcome in, James.
Thank you very much, Brandon. As always, love to be in the show and enjoy going ahead and talking to the Tampa Bay consumers about how to purchase and sell their businesses.
That's right. Buying and selling a business, a big part of that is valuating the business, properly valuating, keeping proper books, almost like a consultant here as well on our show. Also in studio, Scott Maurer, Director of Business Development for Advanta IRA. Welcome in, Scott.
Hey, Brandon. Great to be back. It's an exciting time, actually, at Advanta right now. There's a lot of different things going on, a lot of activity, people buying real estate, people buying notes, private placements. With their retirement plan, we've seen a big surge lately. I don't know if we're going to touch on it maybe during the show. People investing in Bitcoin through their IRA, through their retirement account. So a lot of going on in Advanta. Have some upcoming events we'll talk about too. Yeah,
that's an interesting scenario there. Bitcoin surpasses $10,000 for the first time. Here's an interesting story that we'll touch on as well. The digital currency hit $10,000 according to CoinDesk, marking an exponential ascent from 6 cents 7 years ago and less than $1,000 at the start of the year. So at the start of the year, 2017, now it's already above $10,000. So it's very interesting. It's a little confusing still for me. I watched that documentary on Netflix, but it'll be interesting to dive into that.
Yep. Yeah. It's something that's new. It's something we're still getting used to as well at Advanta, but it's kind of just illustrates to us you have an investment idea, we can help you get it accomplished.
That's right. Self-directed IRAs, Advanta IRA, Scott Maurer, local expert contributor, and can talk about that. Also, the market hit $24,000 for the first time. I just got one of those Bay News text alerts deals to my phone. Over $24,000 on the market. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's been up the market. I mean, we don't deal as much with the market, but I think it's one of those situations where the rising tide lifts all boats. We're seeing you're seeing real estate prices go up. You're seeing a lot more activity in a lot of different marketplaces. I'm sure James is probably seeing it in the business space as well. We're just overall the economy has been a lot better in the last year.
Yeah, absolutely. Things are looking good. And there's going to be some pullback, so that's up for debate, but we'll talk about that later in the show as well. And as you know, I'm a published author, professional speaker. We'd love for you to check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves, available for you on Amazon. Please leave a review if you check it out. We'd greatly appreciate that. And we like to start our show off with a little bit of personal development, business building skills. So we're going to help you call that audible. So I want to lead off with a great quote by James Allen, As a Man Thinketh, is one of the books that so many people reference as one of the best books in terms of personal development. Thought allied fearlessly with purpose becomes creative force. And, it makes me think of also the word enthusiasm. When you have enthusiasm about your day and your job, the word enthusiasm actually means, the Latin descent means the God within. So think about that, the God within. So you want to think thoughts that trigger positive emotions, and you want to get momentum. And here's the thing, the thoughts that and beliefs and emotions that we don't consciously reject, we unconsciously accept. So whenever you have these thoughts of loss, less, or never that come into your mind, that's the old subconscious mind, a 2 million year organ that we have in our head telling us, hey, look out for that saber-toothed tiger. It's bringing in the worst case scenario, a lot of times popping it into our mind. Could be, bill collectors, things of that nature, maybe haters coming at you from time to time. But awareness is the key to freedom. And you want to get crystal clear about and extremely attached to your why. What's the purpose for you? Why are you doing what you do? And employ the muscle of imagination. Feel the emotions of energy reaching through your body, and that's going to help you lead to your success. So a great quote, James Allen, thought allied fearlessly with purpose becomes creative force. All right, take time to slow down and think about that as you're going through your day. And let's go ahead and jump into this great content here. We've got James Lascano here in studio, business broker, Transworld Business Advisors. And James, in the past, you come in, you pitch some of your listings sometimes. Mm-hmm. You talk about helping people buy a business. You talk about helping people sell a business. What do you want to focus on today?
Hey, you know what? Actually, I just had a great closing this past Monday. And I want to talk a little bit about that because I created a great relationship with the seller. The seller actually was, to me, one of the most conscious business entrepreneurs that I've met. And it's a small business. It was a small business, and she ran it very well. The first time I met her, she's a great lady, she's religious, and she was like, look, this is how I run my business. And I was, as any meeting that I go to, I go ahead first and say, look, this is what I need. Every question I had for her, she had an answer to, and she ran a report
Wow.
for. And this is a small business.
That's impressive.
It's a small spa. And she had everything prepared. And she said, if I can't get you the answer, I'll go ahead and get you the answer immediately in a few minutes. And she would do that. I was so impressed the way she did that. And you know what? One of the reasons she was so prepared, she told me, is she had someone like a personal business coach. Like in our group, it's Patrick Leask that we use. So she had someone like that helping her out, and she was able to also understand me very clearly because every time I told her something, she would say, "That's what my coach is giving me advice on." Like we were on the same page on every level. She, an actual small business owner that understood business so well that she got it. And I told her in another life I would have comfortably worked for her because, and she said,
"What line of work?"
A spa.
Cool.
She had a spa. She has a beautiful little small spa. And she ran her business in a way that you would run a corporate, a Fortune 500 business. She had monthly meetings. She would have specific plans every day for the team. She would have expectations and goals. She would have any type of issue. She would go ahead and have a formal meeting with them. I mean, and she would also do it the way you would wish some of these corporations would run their business, that she would lead with her emotions on her sleeve. She would say, look, I'm here. We're here to make money because it's a business, but I'm here also to be your friend, to be a mentor, to be a guide, and we'll work on this together. And she had created this unbelievable, great team within the business. And it took her a while. She was clear about that. And of course, when she's selling it, she was so attached, She was like, this is my baby. I've been doing this for these 5 years. It's been a lot of work, and it's emotional. But the reason she was leaving is because she's retiring. Mm-hmm. She's finally wanting to retire. She wants to spend more time with her husband. They want to travel, and she's earned it. But it was very refreshing to see a woman be able to manage a business so well. I mean, and most people... it's like almost I should say, look, everybody should get a business coach. I'm giving a little bit of advertising for Patrick, but the way she did it, it helped her immensely. Mm-hmm. And she understood when I told her, look, businesses, when we sell businesses, there's a certain amount of risk that we need to mitigate. She was like, I understand that. Yeah. I completely get that. And she was able to be an easier person to work with. And also, anytime we went ahead and when we were in the selling process, Anytime the buyer would ask a question, she would have an answer for it. She was so humble about it.
And
would
that's
actually
important,
send me.
right?
Oh.
That's one of the most important things that you've talked about in the past is whenever you're looking to sell a business, have those answers ready for the buyer.
Yeah, and you know what? The most important thing also was about, she was so prepared and she was humble about it. She just basically said, you know what, how do you think I did? I'm like, you did great.
Yep.
I didn't have to prep you. I didn't have to prepare you. You were, every question you knew the answer to because you know your business.
Yep.
And it wasn't something where most people say, well, I kind of. No, she said, no, this is what it is, and I'll run a report if you want to see it afterwards.
So is that an active listing you have now?
No, it's sold. I mean, it's gone. I mean, it was, yeah, and it was, I mean, again, it was the way that she presented herself in the business, and she was also honest to a fault, and which is great when you're dealing with someone that you're trying to sell their business. She would just say, look, if this is going on, she'll be openly tell you, no, this is, this is where I see areas for improvement. This is where we succeeded very well, and this is areas where I feel that, we should no longer focus on. So it was very refreshing to see that. And the most important thing I could say is she knew her business and she was prepared at all times. She just, in any which way or form, it was an easy transition as a sale when we got to the selling part. And the buyer also was a very nice lady. And you know what? She loved it because she had gone to see so many other businesses.
Yep.
And they all did not pass, the smell test. It was every time something came up, she would say, look, someone's telling me some stuff it's not true. Someone's telling me, they say it's the best. I'm like, look, I was very clear with everyone. I said, look, this business, you're gonna have a complete clear understanding of what they're doing because the lady has everything at your fingertips. Reports, she has meetings, she does everything that the way a business should be. So if I was to tell anybody out there, look, if you're ready to sell your business, take a little bit of effort. And I'll use a quote from somebody that from somebody I learned a long time ago. And he basically said, it's amazing when someone wants to sell a car and they won't wash the car and get it and increase the sale by $200 and go spend the $20 because they're just too lazy or they don't get it.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is spend $20 to wash the car and the sales price will go up by $200.
Yeah.
It's the simplest thing. It's exactly. Focus on the details.
Yep.
The devil's in the details, and that was a key thing in this particular business, and that's why it went well.
Perfect. When we come back, let's touch on maybe a couple of your listings, talk about some inventory you have. James Lascano, Transworld Business Advisors, when we come back as well. Scott Maurer, he's the Director of Business Development with Advanta IRA. And we're going to have later in the show, we got our feel-good story of the week. New Jersey man pays off $10,000 worth of layaway orders at a local Toys R Us in our positive segment of the week. So stay with us. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, everybody. I'm Forbes Riley, celebrity TV fitness host and creator of The Spin Gym. I'm here today with Brandon Rhymes, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great ways to get happy, healthy, and wealthy.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. traveling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation, visit Pasco County, Florida.
Listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty. I am a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay, featured in Florida Realtor Magazine multiple times, and just found out, got another feature coming up actually tomorrow. We're going to be doing another feature with Florida Realtor Magazine, a video series called Take 5. So real excited. I'm the owner of Platinum MVP Realty, and I got a couple of hot listings I want to let you know about. 1024 Mandalay Avenue, Clearwater Beach. This is a gorgeous property on the North Beach side of Clearwater Beach. You come around the roundabouts, you stay to the right. 2-bedroom, 2-bath property, $749,000, over 1,860 square feet, heated, and it's got a beautiful backyard, fenced-in backyard in the a beautiful community in north side of Clearwater Beach. Platinum MVP Realty, as well as 10217 Timberland Point Drive in Tampa. We just reduced this $20,000. This is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath property in Arbor Green, just price slashed $20,000 down to $329,000. Many upgrades, complete beautiful flooring, beautiful cabinetry throughout. 10217 Timberland Point Drive in Tampa. Beautiful property. Compliments of Platinum MVP Realty. And we are back here in studio. We're going to talk about Bitcoin coming up here as well. Surpasses $10,000 for the first time. We also have our feel-good story of the week. In studio with me today, James Lascano. He's a business broker, Transworld Business Advisors. Scott Maurer, who is the Director of Business Development for Advanta IRA. And I want to give a shout-out to our restaurant partner, Brio Tuscan Grill at the International Plaza, 2223 Northwest Shore Boulevard at Brio Tuscan Grill, located off of Bay Street next to the Renaissance Tampa Hotel, International Plaza. You will discover a great Italian menu, awesome drinks, great coffees as well, excellent service, and really great food over there. Check them out. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you for that free water with lemon. And we're back here in studio, going to help you win. James Lascano was talking a little bit about the beauty of when a client has his or her books ready to go, answers to questions for the buyer. James is a business broker, so he's helping folks buy and sell businesses. So James, I thought maybe we'll go through a couple of your listings.
Definitely. I have an incredibly great accounting firm right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The accounting firm actually this year will gross $350,000. It'll net well over, according to the seller, and the P&L's well over $230,000, and it's for sale for $400,000. I mean, the price is unbelievable for it. So anybody looking for an accounting firm, I have one ready. The gentleman, he needs to move. That's why he's selling it. If not, he would keep it. And he will give all the support necessary after he sells it. It comes with multiple business accounts. And you want to buy accounting firms now, because as soon as the new year hits, that's a big bump up.
Yeah.
They do huge tax.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, they do. So you always want to buy this right now when the business is going up.
How do you value that, James? Like, so you mentioned it's $230,000 as their net. They're expected to net next year, and it's for sale
this
for,
year.
for this year. Okay, so then you look at a price tag of $400,000. What do you typically do? Do you look for like a 2-year recoup, a year and a half recoup?
Depending on the business, this business is different. Accounting firms, because it's basically you're buying a book of business. They're not assessed in a normal type of way. They're looking more at the value of a gross, because an accountant's going to go ahead and play with the numbers all day long. So they're looking more at the value of gross. How much is the business grossing? Because at the end of the day, accountants write off vehicles, they write off trips, they write off. I mean, there's all things, and they're accountants. They know what they're doing. So they're looking more at how much does a business gross to be able to value a business, as opposed to how much does it net. In this particular case,
because it depends on how they're structuring their expenses. Are they taking salaries?
Exactly.
There's a lot of ways to look at that. Let me ask Scott a question here. Now, Scott Maurer, Advanta IRA in studio, James Lascano, Transworld Business Advisors. So do you see people, because with a self-directed IRA, you can invest, it's your money, you can invest in almost anything. Are you seeing people buying businesses?
We do. It's a very narrow circumstance. There's a narrow rule that the IRS has that you can do that, but we have certainly seen people do that. In fact, I got an email this morning on it from someone. There's a mechanism to use an IRA and to establish a new 401k plan for yourself that enables you to keep the money tax protected, basically. Because a lot of people look at their IRA, they want to buy a business, they think, I got to pull the money out. I have income tax to pay, I have penalties to take, or to pay based on the money I took out. There is a mechanism. It's called a ROBS plan, is the acronym the IRS uses, but it's a rollover as business startup, where you can roll over your IRA into a 401k plan that you establish for this new business, keep the money tax protected inside that vehicle, and then have the 401k plan fund the purchase, basically, of that new business enterprise.
Wow.
And so your 401k plan that you've established ends up owning your business. You have capital now with which to work to buy the business, to pay yourself a salary, pay for operating costs, etc., and still keeping that money ultimately tax protected. It's a very narrow circumstance.
That's interesting.
It certainly doesn't work for everybody. If you're somebody who has $20,000 in an IRA, probably better off just taking the money out and paying taxes. But for people who have $100,000, $200,000, if you had $400,000, you're looking to buy the accounting firm James was talking about. That's a way to do it inside this 401k plan.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. James, on the flip side of that, have you orchestrated deals where you're dealing with an administrator like an Advanta IRA?
Not so far. We were working with one particular lady who was trying to do that, but she had problems. She had problems pulling her money. Like, she was trying to get it out of, I don't know if it was for IRA or for 401k, but she was having problems. I guess that the bank where she had it in, or whoever the business was, someone else took over as managing the portfolio or whatnot of a 401k, and now she wasn't in there, so she had multiple issues. But that's the only one person. I also dealt actually with one attorney who did that, though. I did deal with one attorney in the past, actually many years ago, who specifically went ahead and pulled all the money to buy a small business from our IRA. And it was successful for her.
Because people are flipping businesses too. I mean, you hear about that from time to time. Have you seen flippers?
Yeah, right. First of all, right now, it's buyers. I need more inventory. Buyers are coming out of the woodwork. Especially, I have buyers from Puerto Rico. People are doing a mass exodus in Puerto Rico, and a lot of them have money. They're just coming here. They're selling all their assets over there, and they're like, look, we just want to go ahead and start a new life in Florida. So they're coming here, and they're contacting me. They're like, look, we have the money. Where do we buy? What do we buy? Some of them, I have to actually calm them down, because they're like, they'll buy anything. They just want to come to Florida, buy a home, and then basically have income. And then have an investment. And some of them, I need to walk them down the path of, look, let's not jump into this. They're running out of time, and also because of the year's ending, they're trying to do it before the year ends. And I've had to actually say, look, let's look at this from every angle to make sure that we do the right thing. I don't want to put someone in a business that they have no understanding of. We pair up with people that are successful. Now, some entrepreneurs, they're just good entrepreneurs. No matter what they do, they'll understand it. But some people, they're coming here and, they only run a mom and pop shop, and they've been very successful, and they're coming here now, they want to just buy something that is completely out of the realm. We have to kind of guide them a little bit more, and this is where the advisory and consulting comes into play. Like, look, what is the best thing that can work for you that you can comfortably do, and you will not, invest your money and sink the business. You will continue to thrive, and that's also what we're working with.
So, Scott, have you seen the influence of Puerto Rico coming in, people moving money?
No, we haven't. No,
not as much.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, man, they went through a lot, and now that's interesting that James has seen that from the business side. But it makes sense. People, you know, if they're evacuating, getting out of that country, moving their assets.
It's our country.
yeah, well,
the
separate.
Commonwealth.
Yeah, so they're coming out, and you know, it makes sense. You know, if you're able to come into a business that's been operating and you have certain skill set that's going to match up with that business, it makes a lot of sense versus going and trying to find a job, work for someone else.
Exactly.
Especially in this economy.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, the economy's doing well, and people are constantly buying more business. They are flipping, to your point. Some people are really good at, basically managing a business, putting it in the right track. They buy it at a simple price, and then they flip it. We also have a lot of baby boomers that bought businesses a few years ago. They thought, hey, you know what, this will be fun. And now they're like, you know, this is demanding too much of my time. I've done well by it. I'm just trying to sell it off. And they either want just their money back. They're not even thinking of making a profit. They either want their money back or they just want to make a little bit on it.
Yeah.
But they're more like, we wanted something to do. We didn't want to lose our money. We invested it. We're good. Now we just want to move on, and everything is, you know, we whatever was there that may have not been going well, we fixed it.
Let's touch on this Bitcoin when we come back. This is an interesting topic. I want to talk about Bitcoin when we come back. We're going to jump into our Name That Tune. We got rock songs from the 90s, and we got our feel-good story of the week as well. New Jersey man pays off $10,000 worth of layaway orders at a local Toys R Us. And more from our expert contributors in studio today. James Lascano, representing Transworld Business Advisors. Scott Maurer, he's the Director of Business Development for Advanta IRA. So stay with us. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, and former USF football player, played on the inaugural football team USF, and now we're quarterbacking transactions for our sellers buyers or investors out there with Platinum MVP Realty. We're also quarterbacking introductions to our 80-plus show partners. We have CPAs, financial advisors, business brokers, self-directed IRA, attorneys associated with the show, doctors. So many ways that we can help you. We want to be your resource. So reach out to our hotline at 813-670-7372. 813-670-7372, and check out consumerqb.com. You can shoot an email through that website. You can contact us there. You can see links to all of our expert contributors, clicking on the expert contributors tab there at the top. You'll see all their contact information, their websites. All of our expert contributors have been vetted, and they are the best at what they do. In studio today with me, we've got James Lascano, Transworld Business Advisors. He's a local business broker. Scott Maurer, Director of Business Development for Advanta IRA. I also have a webinar coming up on Tuesday the 5th, does Advanta IRA. And let's give a shout out to our massage partner here, Signature Massage and Facial Spa in Tampa. Are you looking for a place to get a massage or a facial at an affordable price, but without having to sign up for membership? Look no further. At Signature Massage and Facial Spa, they offer a 1-hour Swedish massage for $49.95. Always no contracts. Come in early during the early bird hours, and you receive an additional $10 off. And for those muscles and knots that need extra work, ask about getting a deep tissue or sports massage. If skincare is what you're looking for, they have amazing facial and microderm packages. Check out Signature Massage and Facial Spa, 11248 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa, or call 813-925-8898, 925-8898 to schedule an appointment. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and you're going to get a 10% discount off of your first service by mentioning the REQB show and code. All right, back here in studio, helping you win. Let's jump right back into it. Let's talk with Scott Maurer first here. So, Scott, Director of Business Development for Advanta IRA, self-directed IRAs. You're able to help people no matter what asset class they want to invest in. Real estate, we talk a lot on the show, but they can invest through this vehicle and legally avoid paying taxes.
Yeah, the great thing that the IRS has given us with retirement accounts is the ability to not only invest in things that you know, which is, again, what we really promoted at Advanta, the ability to buy real estate, buy notes, buy private placements, buy Bitcoin, as we'll talk about in a minute. But the benefit is that the gains within that account are tax-free to you. It's all money going back into your IRA. You're not only being able to choose what you want to invest in, you're growing your retirement account, and you're not paying taxes on it. So you're not, if you have a humongous gain inside your IRA, you buy that property and flip it, make a great profit. That's profit back to your IRA. It's not going to affect your bottom line, and you have that much more money in retirement to get to. And it's, as a self-directed IRA, it's really the decisions you make, what you want to invest in, what you feel comfortable. There are a few guidelines, and at Advanta, we don't give advice. I'm not going to tell you, you should buy this property, you shouldn't buy that property, you should buy Bitcoin, you shouldn't buy Bitcoin. That's your decision, and we're facilitating that. Most brokerage firms, most advisors want you to invest in what they sell.
Yeah.
Money markets, brokerage accounts, etc.
That's right. Those so-called wealth advisors that, maybe they have a college degree, maybe they don't, but they went in and they learned whatever their company culture taught them to sell, and that's how they make more money, because if they sell their product, whatever brand, you see them on the big TV shows, I don't have to pick them out, but they're the ones that are going to make more money based on what they sell.
They are, and again, there's plenty of advisors out there that are fantastic at what they do. Don't get me wrong. We get referrals from them when they have clients who have an alternative investment. That's fine, but yeah, a lot of them out there, and depending on whether your advisor's one of them or not, they've been brought up. They've been, they've taken all the courses, they've done all the classes, they've taken all the training inside their business to only sell what they have to offer. They don't learn about other products. They're not interested in learning about other products because they're not incentivized at all to really give you the full breadth of what you can do. And that's what we try to do at Advanta, because we don't sell anything at all. We simply provide a service in holding these alternative assets.
Yeah, you're providing a service, self-directed IRAs. I love the idea of buying real estate, of course, as the owner of a brokerage here. Duplexes, triplexes, quads, apartment buildings. Grant Cardone Enterprises, he strictly buys apartment complexes. He's got a multi-million-dollar fund where he's helping people do that. Former guest on the show, Grant Cardone. So you can buy whatever type of activity you want through the IRA. So let's talk about Bitcoin. We've had some fun. It always is an interesting interesting discussion when you bring it up at conversations. So the digital currency hit $10,000 according to CoinDesk, marking an exponential ascent from 6 cents just 7 years ago and less than 1,000 at the start of the year. Since Bitcoin's market capitalization is less than $200 billion, enthusiasts point out the digital currency could rise dramatically if it draws even a tiny fraction of the world's $2 trillion in traditional financial market assets. One Bitcoin can now buy a Tiffany engagement ring. So I kind of, throw it to you there. It's interesting. They're saying, they're pointing out, hey, there's $200 trillion out there. Even if a small fraction moves to this digital currency, which again, let's note the origin of this. According to the documentary, I'm not an expert on it at any means, but I did watch the documentary, so that makes me a little dangerous, right? So when I watched that documentary, it pointed out that, hey, back in 2008, we had Lehman Brothers collapse. You had all of the companies just follow suit, AmeriQuest, all the big banks, New Century, all the big banks that collapsed. So here we have a viable alternative, or at least it seems so.
It does, and it's again, one of those things I think it's great about, at least from the self-directed IRA standpoint that we deal with, is it's the ability for someone to make that decision on their own. Mm-hmm. So you can watch the documentary, you can do the research into it, and sure, you're going to have people out there who are non-believers who are going to say, no, it's not a U.S. dollar, it's not backed by gold, therefore I'm not interested. Yep. And you have other people on the other side say the fact that it's not a U.S. government product is what makes it attractive to them. And so you don't necessarily have that devaluation based on government activity, and I think that's what's attractive to some people. And again, the fact that some people won't be able to touch it, their money, so that's maybe not attractive for them. But it certainly is an interesting. I mean, Bitcoin is the term used to describe actually a very specific cryptocurrency. Bitcoin is a brand. There are a couple of other cryptocurrencies that are out there that are emerging. I have no idea if one's going to win out over the others, or the 3 or 4 of them over time will become a play. But it's certainly it's a changing dynamic, certainly in our economy.
Absolutely. If you just joined us, I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of Platinum MVP Realty. Currently talking with Scott Maurer. He's the Director of Business Development for Advanta IRA, helping business owners, individuals submit and self-direct their own funds and investments of however they want to put their money to work. But yes, so more than 120 crypto funds have launched, it says, according to, and some run by Wall Street veterans, according to financial research firm Autonomous Next. But later in the story, it talks about how there's a gentleman named Michael Novogratz who predicted that on CNBC's Fast Money in October that Bitcoin would reach $10,000 in the next 6 to 10 months. And then as Bitcoin rose above 97 on last Monday, the Fast Money segment brought him back on. He says it could easily be at $40,000 at the end of 2018.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, it's one of those things to me. I mean, it certainly raises a flag to see that much growth, and so you definitely want to know what you're getting into before if that's your life savings. I don't know that I'd put it in Bitcoin, but if it's something you have somebody to play with, and hey, it's the stock market is somewhat of a gamble too. You see significant gains in the stock market. People don't think twice about it because this is something outside of the stock market. I think is when you get the raised eyebrows and people in the stock market industry questioning the legitimacy of it because it's a threat. You mentioned. Right, exactly. $200 trillion in financial markets out there, only $200 billion. Anything that goes towards something outside of the stock market's a hit in their pocket.
Yeah, exactly. So, and what's just recently arose is a friend of mine is into a multi-level marketing type of business where you can enter it. What it does is it lowers the barrier to entry. So instead of having to have however much it costs to buy one full Bitcoin or whatever that number is, you're able to buy in, and then you could, depending on how much you pay, I think $600 might be the entry level. Mm-hmm. You can buy down or buy 12 levels down. So everybody that buys 12 vertical levels down, kind of like an MLM, you're going to receive a little bit of money based on how much Bitcoin activity they have.
Very
so interesting. Yeah. Sorry, enough about the Bitcoin there, but it's interesting to talk about. So and the other thing is, let's just go ahead and mention this. It says, and just like that, Wall Street is celebrating another milestone. The Dow over $24,000, barely a month after hitting over 23,000 units. Rather, the Dow reached the latest landmark on Thursday, just after the opening bell, which leads me to believe that. At some point, we're on this longest bull run we've ever had, correct? Mm-hmm. We're still on this bull run. At some point, there's going to be a pullback. There's going to be either a, not a recession, but a, What's the short term
correction?
Correction,
Yep.
yeah. So it's going to be a correction at some point. I think that a lot of it's going to relay in through real estate, commercial real estate first, because what I'm thinking is that you got the Amazons, you got the Walmart.coms, Groupon, all of these online houses, Wayfair or Mayfair, Wayfair, where people buy furniture online. There's a lot of online activity, which is going to create, I think, a consolidation in terms of retail space for commercial real estate.
Well, I think you're seeing that already. You drive up and down the road, and I think ride around with my kids and my wife the other day in the car, and we're passing the mall, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, is that going to be there in 10 years? Mm-hmm. Is this going to be a park? Is it going to be a condos? Because of the impact that the Amazon. I mean, I've done. It's early December. I've already done a lot of my Christmas shopping because I can punch buttons on my computer to do it. I haven't even had to go to the stores, and I still like going to the stores for certain things, but as everybody buys more and more, that certainly could show a trend, I think, in the overall marketplace, and that's definitely a changing dynamic to keep an eye on.
James, you can comment on that?
Yeah, I think that one of the major things is the stores are, the way I see it, and maybe this is just my point of view, is they're probably going to become more of an impulse buy things because some people just want to get some items. Yeah. The smart thing that Walmart did, obviously, was, and now that Amazon is looking at, is food is always a necessity, and it's instant. You need to have it. Most people are not very organized. I'll look into my fridge today, and I'll say, hey, I need milk by tomorrow. So I'll go out to the store and get it. You can't order that by online.
Short-term decision,
Exactly. Short-term decisions that you need an immediate impact. You're going to have that. So that's why you see someone like Amazon buying Whole Foods, because they're saying, look, you know what? People are still going to have to go to the grocery store.
That's right.
Now, they're going to be a segmented group of people that are going to be well organized, and technology will help that down the path. But you're still going to have the people that are just like, look, like me. Hey, we're running out of milk. If I don't get it today, kids are not going to have breakfast tomorrow. I need to go and get some tonight. Yeah. So I see that is going to be a blend. And actually, some of the big box stores like a Walmart did figure that out years ago, that they said, how do we get people to continue to come in? They're not just going to come in to, buy pantyhose or shoes or anything, or whatever. Yep. Hey, get them through the food aisle. They have to go and buy the food.
That's where you see the supermarket, the super Targets, the super Walmarts.
And the thing right now that's going on is, and again, you'll see it popping up. There's a lot of smaller, Walmart is now going into the green stores, the neighborhood stores, because people don't want to spend time. Yep. And then that's the key thing. It's like, look, you don't want to waste your time. That's why people go online. You save time and you save money. And the companies have less overhead because they just ship direct to you. So you're seeing this thing where they're getting smaller stores to get that neighborhood feel, because people want to go back to that. Yeah. And you see that in the communities being built also around in Florida, that we're always, at least in the state of Florida, I'm not looking outside the state, you're seeing that a lot of people are like, look, we want the neighborhood market. We want to be able to go up there to the bank teller and say, hey, do you remember me? Yeah, I remember you. And that's what also the banks have been doing lately. They want to be more approachable. They want to be more of the neighborhood. And people are leaning towards that. So it's a good mix. It's actually exciting times that I see in that sense.
Absolutely. All right. So if you're buying or selling a business, that's James Lascano, Transworld Business Advisors, and of course Scott Maurer. More from Scott when we come back as well. He's the business development for Advanta IRA, self-directed IRAs, helping you win in any marketplace here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. When we come back, we're going to do our Name That Tune. We have some fun 90s rock songs coming up, as well as our feel-good story of the week. New Jersey man pays off $10,000 worth of layaway orders at a local Toys R Us. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to ConsumerQB.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com. listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and a top listing agent. Got a hot listing here I want to let you know about. 215 12th Avenue Northeast in St. Petersburg. This is a 4-bedroom, 5-bath property. Over 3,680 square feet, listed at $1.19 million in that old northeast section of beautiful St. Petersburg. Great buying opportunity, compliments of Platinum MVP Realty. And let's give a shout out to our official cleaning partner, Two Maids and a Mop, our official cleaning company here at the Consumer Quarterback Show. They provide excellent service, and a clean house just makes you feel good, and it's healthy living as well, that indoor air quality. Two Maids and a Mop offers free cleaning to cancer patients, so they're very charitable there. And with Two Maids and a Mop, your approval rating matters. The pay rate, the staff is based on your evaluation. So if you need cleaning company, Two Maids and a Mop, our official cleaning partner here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And back here in studio, James Lascano, Transworld Business Advisors, business broker, and Scott Maurer, Director of Business Development for Advanta IRA. All right, we'd like to have a little fun with you, so let's go ahead and jump into our Name That Tune. So all songs today are from the 90s. We got rock songs from the 90s. You ready?
I know it's
Metallica. That's right.
Enter Sandman?
That's it. Sandman. Enter Sandman. Yep. Yeah, that was a good one back before the football games and wrestling matches and stuff. All right, here we go. Here's another popular song. Very popular, huh?
I know the song.
That's Nirvana?
Nirvana.
Yeah, it smells like Teen Spirit.
That's
right?
it.
Okay.
That's it. Yep.
This is not my forte, but they're coming.
They're coming back to you.
I know. I remember the song. I just don't remember their names.
Yeah.
I know the songs.
All right, here we go. Here's another one. I don't remember this one as much. It's
We're only listening to rock, obviously.
yeah. Bush. Machine
Yeah.
Head.
Okay.
It says Machine Head. This is a popular one.
Drawing a blank.
Sublime.
That's right.
Santeria.
Santeria, yeah.
Here's a popular one too.
The sun may rise in the east, at least it's
Oh, yeah. Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That's right.
It's understood that
Californication.
sells Californication.
You gotta sing the song. You gotta
Some
sing
good tunes. Yeah, it comes to you after a while, right?
Yeah.
All right, so they're having a little fun with you now. Let's jump into our feel-good story, our positivity. We're going to spread some positivity here today.
Tell me something good.
So a New Jersey man is making sure kids' Christmas wishes get fulfilled this year. A man who goes by Charlie K walked into Cherry Hill store, and he wanted to pay off all of the layaway orders. Charlie ended up covering 62 orders for a total of $10,780. Just trying to bring some happiness to people. That's really it. Help bring back the community that brought so much happiness to me and my family, Charlie said. Jessica J. showed up planning to pay full price for a big box of toy sets set aside for her kids. They come over and tell me someone actually paid the layaway, Jay told CBS Philly. It's definitely an early Christmas, and I want to say thank you for the gentleman that came in and donated. It's like the best feeling. Thank you. But his good deed didn't end there. Charlie also had everyone in the store choose 3 items for him to purchase for Toys for Tots. Cool story.
You know what? It's a great time, and I'm going to give a little free commercial for the Salvation Army.
Yeah.
You know what? They're a great organization. If you have $1 or $2 to give to them, I've had personal experience with Salvation Army, and it's an extraordinary organization. And they're there to help, and they honestly they don't do anything but just help. So I would say if you see that guy ringing that bell, Christmas outside of Home Depot, Walmart, everywhere, give them a few bucks.
Do what you
man.
can.
Yeah,
Do what
it's
you can.
great. If
Yep.
you can, if you have the money, believe me, it'll be put to good use.
So if I can echo that, Metropolitan Ministries too in Tampa always has that big tent downtown set up.
Yeah.
My family donated some stuff last year. I couldn't believe when we went there the size of the operation, but just there's so many people in need. this is the time of the year, especially to give.
Yeah, absolutely. And it will reciprocate back to you in an extraordinary way the more you give. And it's interesting too. I like to talk about with the charitable organizations. There's good, better, and best. There's some that they have high salaries for their CEOs. High salaries for a lot of management, middle management. So research that. I don't know if you guys know off the top of your head who some of the best are.
The CEO for Salvation Army makes about $40,000 a year.
That's good. That's really good.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. This is an organization I've had personal experience with, and they're a phenomenal organization.
Yeah,
and like I said,
cool.
They give back.
So I love it.
Your money's going to good use. And anyway, if you want, be a good Samaritan, just help out. Anytime.
That's right. Absolutely. Let's jump into our lightning round.
The lightning round.
I am so good at lightning rounds.
I majored in lightning rounds.
All right, top tips, nuggets of advice, words of wisdom. James Lascano, Transworld Business Advisors.
As always, be prepared. It's a great Boy Scout motto.
Yeah.
When you want to go ahead and sell your business, do your homework and just be prepared. One of the things, actually, I got a tip from somebody. For businesses that have an actual office, just small tip: clean the restroom. Mm-hmm. Some buyers literally just go, and when their litmus test is by the restroom. They see a restroom that is not clean, they'll say, "You know what? This is not for me."
It's a good point,
maybe
man.
something as simple as that, but just make sure that the restroom is clean and well maintained. And for that's obviously for anybody who wants to sell their business. And for buyers, call me. I'd be love to talk to you, and and believe me, we have businesses out there that are phenomenal right now, and this is the time. It's time to
Absolutely.
buy. Mm-hmm.
Scott Maurer, Advanta IRA.
I would say diversify. We talked about Bitcoin today. We've talked about real estate, other investments in the past. We talked today about the stock market being at an all-time high. We know there's a correction that's going to come at some point, whether that's a war or altercation with North Korea, whether that's the the tax plan not passing as they hope, so that investors pull out. Don't be the ones following everyone else. Get out there on your own, examine possibilities. And we mentioned at the beginning, having James talked about having the lady that was selling the business had a great team of people involved to help her do the same thing for yourself. Don't wait for somebody else to tell you what to do. Get out there, get educated, get knowledgeable, and then form your own team and look out for yourself.
Yeah, I like that. Be proactive. It's a lot about being proactive. We've got about 20 seconds too.
Oh, and they have the access to information is open.
Mm-hmm.
Utilize that,
Yeah, there's so many resources now. You can look at, podcasts, YouTube. I mean, there's so many ways that you can educate yourself and be, constantly sharpening that saw, as Stephen Covey talked about. So I want to thank our expert contributors, James Lascano, Transworld Business Advisors, Scott Maurer, Director of Business Development, Advanta IRA, John Gaston, WeBeam TV as well, all of our team behind the scenes putting it together. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness, something as simple as packing up some leftover food, maybe some clothing this time of year, maybe go through your kid's toy box and find some old toys and stuff that might not even be unwrapped, and take that down and deliver it to folks in need. So be a force for good in the community and do what you can to help one another out there. And this is the time of year to be even more charitable if you can. So continue to tune into our show. Follow us online, Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com. Check out facebook.com, Brandon Rhymes PA on Facebook, Instagram at Brandon Rhymes1, Twitter at Brandon Rhymes1 as well. And we'll see you next time.
You've been listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.